teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. I've been sharing out of Swami Kriyananda's The New Path in the chapters where he's living with Yogananda. And today I'd like to read to you briefly this excerpt. The desire for money, Yogananda contrasted with the joys of non-attachment and simple living. Renounce attachment to all things, he told us, even to the fruits of your action. Don't work with the thought that of what you might get out of it. What comes of itself, let it come. Work to serve God and for the supreme satisfaction of pleasing God. Well, easier said than done. For those of us who have tried our hand at meditation, we know that the thoughts, the billions of thoughts, at one point or another during our meditation, keep trying to impose themselves on us. And the Hong Sa technique that Yogananda taught was to not get mad at ourselves when that happens, but every time our thoughts wander, to just bring our thoughts back to God. And they wander and we bring them back to God. And we do this over and over and over during every meditation. I've been meditating now for more than 50 years, and I'm still working on it, because once we really are able to keep one pointed focus on God, then that is when we're truly meditating, and that's when spiritual unfoldment really takes place in breathlessness. Well, the same is true for activity. And it's so difficult. It seems easy, or at least he presents it in a way that's very simple so that we can practice God remembrance during our activity. Keep our focus on the divine, whether in ourselves or in whoever we are serving. If we're working on a project, we keep our focus on the divine within us. Swami Kriyananda used to say that whatever amount of energy, and it's usually a lot of energy, we need to put out to perform any activity, we need to raise our efforts at God remembrance even more energetically, more strongly towards the divine, the highest within us. And that's not easily done, and it seems almost exhausting, but it isn't, because when we experience those moments, even if it's just for moments, we feel exhilarated. We feel the divine energy flowing through us. We're not concentrating on the personality or the outward aspects of the project. We are attuning to the divine, which is at the heart of every atom of creation. And so it's not a simple task, but it's a very, very worthwhile task. And the more we can do that, and it takes practice. As I say, I've been practicing this now for over 50 years. And, it's so easy to do a project and to start off with that awareness and that divine blessing, that making that divine contact within. That's why our morning and evening meditations are so important. And whenever we can grab a moment during the day, but because it helps us with that practice. And so we can start off that way, and then within a minute or a few minutes or a little while, we realize that we're totally caught up in the project itself, and we're forgetting that God is the doer, and that attunement, that sort of mental whisper in the back of our consciousness, even though our concentration is on the project, the back of our consciousness, the mental whisper is constantly, God alone, God alone. And in that process, we more and more experience that divine presence and that non-attachment and simplicity that Yogananda is talking about in this particular paragraph. Joy to you, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Blessings. Bye-bye now.